Another day, another person has woken up to the fact that decentralized science is an industry which is beginning to bloom and deserves your attention. Today, we're going to go over an article from Wealth Mastery from Lark Davis here, who makes a lot of crypto content. He's got 500,000 subscribers, so shout out to Lark. I'm subscribed to his email watch list because they go over just summaries pretty much every day out in the market. But on January 25th, he put together, or his team, I'm assuming, put together an entire article on decentralized science, or DeSci. And since you know that I know that DeSci is blowing up, you know that this entire channel is focused on decentralized science, I want to take the time to acknowledge what Eric here has to say about DeSci, both the pros, the cons, and how it's going to fit into the current environment for all of science and academia. This article is a stepping stone in the right direction. The more people wake up to the fact that DeSci is here to stay, the better for all of us because, well, let's be honest, we front ran all of them. If you were part of this community that we're building here, those investors, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications because we actually go live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to go over all of the DeSci market and just crypto in general. So the TLDR, science is a field where crypto incentives make sense. Trust in our bureaucratic and inefficient scientific establishment is wavering. We have the tools now to decentralize and monetize this compromised field. Lots of DeSci ecosystems have sprung up that allow communities to fund research and to protect and monetize their findings. Yeah, it's very exciting actually to see. I think truthfully that decentralized science is the pinnacle of what crypto can actually fix. If you actually take a look at what crypto does, it removes the veil. It makes it so you don't have to trust, you can verify, which is huge for science. And it also is a monetization mechanism. You're able to fund things that otherwise might not get funded. I think DeSci is the pinnacle for what crypto could be used for. But that's just me. I know I'm a little bit too mega bullish for most of you guys. Ready? Why can't you access a lot of scientific papers even though they are funded with taxpayer money? That's a very good question. Why is research funding a top-down endeavor overseen by a small group of government decision makers? Could private funding not lead to more effective capital allocation? We see that constantly. Government only wants to fund their friends, and their friends often are not going to be the best use of capital. Why is tenure for researchers so dependent on peer-reviewed papers that get a lot of citations? Isn't that metric gamed? Absolutely. You'll actually notice I don't have the metric pulled up, so you're going to have to trust, not verify. No, go verify what I'm about to say, but you actually go look at the average age of grant recipients for scientific research, it has been going up incrementally every single year, showcasing that the same people every single year have the same grants from their friends who are working at the foundations which deploy the grants. It's very backwards. The average age shouldn't be moving at all, yet it is increasing every single year. Suspicious. Why is the scientific process not more permissionless? Why can't more people participate even if they lack certain paperwork or access to a circle of peers? Never in history has science been such gate-kept. You really think about it, I should be able to conduct scientific experiments, and if I come up with a question that is valid, I should be able to propose it to other people who can conduct the experiment. But right now, it's siloed just so a few people can actually do it. It's a distorted monopoly. That's what it is. We have a market of science that is distorted by top-down decision-making, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and incentive schemes that are reminiscent of government monopoly on money creation. Facts. Scientists, only humans after all, who have to pay their mortgages, face intense compensation and career pressure which might lead to them prioritizing activities that increase their citation count over those that contribute more significantly to scientific knowledge. You'll find that roughly 80% of peer-reviewed research that is cited in other people's peer-reviewed research can't be replicated, which means it's faulty, which means the results were skewed simply so that they could get cited in someone else's research and just boost their resume. The current scientific system distorts the creation and free flow of new knowledge, which is even more dangerous if you ask me. Science! It should say bitch down here, but I propose an incentivized peer review protocol on Ethereum. I wish not everyone picked Ethereum. Not everyone has picked Ethereum, but we can talk about that a little bit later. I should zoom in a little bit. There are more problems. Why are scientists not rewarded more than they are now? Another pressuring issue. For publishing negative results, currently there's not enough research being done trying to disprove or verify prior research. A core element of the scientific process is under threat. as this kind of research isn't sexy and it doesn't get you citations and hence funding. The funders only want to fund things that are going to pay them more money. It is a business. And not to say everything is bad as a business, but unfortunately, not everything operates at the highest capacity if it's all just treated as business. More in general, why are scientists not more rewarded for the value they bring to society? Can't scientists become business leaders in the way that Bezos and Musk are? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think scientists should remain scientists. But this is where you get into the idea of retroactive funding, where if I, a scientist, create something that down the line generates a shit ton of money, thanks to blockchain, thanks to the record keeping, the immutable record keeping that can be seen on a blockchain, I actually would get compensated for the results of other people's efforts. So I can, with little doubt that I will be compensated later on down the line, hand over my research to someone who will be successful in creating a business out of it. Bezos isn't a scientist, and Albert Einstein was not a business person. But if you had given Bezos something that Albert Einstein had worked on, maybe we could have seen one of the greatest projects out there, you know? Who knows? Who knows? Because right now, the current model doesn't really allow for that kind of stuff because Einstein just wouldn't get paid for it. Bezos would take all the money. Precondition is that science itself would become a business sector. If so, it would create a new class of scientist entrepreneurs. This shift would recognize and reward scientists not just for their contributions to knowledge, but also for the ability to generate economic value for their discoveries. Again, I think retrograde or retroactive funding would be much better there. Keep the people in their desired sectors, just give them credit. Are you a lover of science? Let's dream a bit. Let's see where the future can bring us. I don't know why my brain is just reading words that aren't on the page, but hopefully it's still making sense to everyone. Science is an audible and reproducible with public data available for anyone to verify and replicate the findings. The scientific process is more efficient and reliable, potentially unlocking groundbreaking innovations. Barrier to entry are low. People worldwide could contribute to scientific progress, regardless of their geographic location or institutional affiliation. And that's where we need some publication sites. We need some decentralized publishing warehouses to actually allow for anyone, anywhere in the world, regardless of institutional affiliation, to actually participate in the research endeavor. Researchers will be properly rewarded for their endeavors in terms of intellectual property, those IP NFTs that we see all the time. We talk about it constantly on this channel because, in fact, we just saw VitaDAO launch an IP NFT, which is turned into a biotech company, could one day IPO on the stock market. Don't get your hopes up too much. Those are very much so moonshots. So better capital allocation, and the second is to encourage risk taking. Risk taking, baby. If no one takes risks, you won't be able to progress as a society, really. In summary, the scientific system, much like blockchain, needs mechanisms to resist corruption and align incentives with truth and innovation, rather than citations and risk-adverse funding strategies. So they then go on to mention ResearchHub. ResearchHub, which is co-founded by Brian Armstrong, the Coinbase CEO. ResearchHub is one of the ones I am extraordinarily bullish on. I'm also bullish on another project, which I've been helping the team out. I've been an advisor for the team. It is Noble Blocks. Basically, I'm not trying to dedicate this whole video to it, but think about ResearchHub, but on the internet computer. So ResearchHub is decentralized in nature, but it's still hosted on a centralized cloud servers for their front end. Noble Blocks is going to be hosted on the internet computer, which then ups the level of decentralization. So I'm very excited to see what comes from them. Keep an eye out, guys. You'll bet your bottom dollars I'll make some videos on them as we progress closer and closer to launching the platform. Similar to many DeFi protocols, but unlike GitHub, ResearchHub is a token incentivized. Its coin is Research Coin, RSC. It's an ERC20 token. At first glance, ResearchHub looks like Reddit in the way that users can upvote and downvote posts and answers. See right here, I'm sure I'll talk about it in a second, but we see that orange or yellowy hue is incentivized bounties. So this person said, what are your favorite science communicators and what do you like about them? They're actually able to pay out people to provide them with information, where otherwise they just would be stuck in no man's land. They'd have to reach out to their friends who probably just don't even exist because they're trying to get into the community more so. Users can earn Research Coin, an ERC20 token, for creating high-quality content. This includes sharing papers, creating summaries, and participating in discussions. It's Joshua Jake in the background here. He's putting stuff up. No, yeah, you're good. You're good. No, I'm recording a YouTube video. I'm gonna keep that part in too, just so everyone knows that I'm here at Discover Crypto. Oh yeah, I infiltrated their main studio here. Yeah, look at this. They literally circled a 10,000 research coin bounty using Twitter to predict the United States Senate election year. So anyone who wants to help contribute with that, they are offering up to 10,000 research coin. Research coin right now is trading at like 50 cents per coin. So $5,000 to people who help them conduct this study. That's huge. That is a huge incentivization model to get people active in actually contributing with scientific research. The platform also enables microgrants where scientists can allocate small amounts of capital to others in the community to answer specific scientific questions or explain complex theories. So it's just a way, it's really just a token that is used to incentivize activity. And that's how you build a community, right? You incentivize activity within a small niche community and it builds it up and becomes more robust, especially when you assign a value to that token. People attribute a lot of emotions to the value of their portfolio. And so if they are can directly impact that value by being more active, then it's just a good virtuous little loop they got going on there. They also went on to talk about Molecule DAO, which is minting intellectual property NFTs. Now, I have many videos fully explaining what Molecule DAO does and all of the IP NFTs that they have helped. But essentially, I'm going to just summarize this really quickly, what goes on with Molecule DAO. So let me switch over to my face. Basically, all of these decentralized autonomous organizations in science, or DeSci, these DAOs, have treasuries full of money, which with the governance token, you can vote on where to allocate that money. The scientists will come and propose to the community, hey, can you give me $50,000 to conduct XYZ experiment? The community votes yes or no. That scientist now gets funding of $50,000 for their experiment. They can now focus way more of their effort rather than on begging government institutions for grants for taxpayer money on actually just conducting the research. They can go employ people and do whatever they're going to do with it to stimulate the economy. They then find out some results of that scientific research. It's either going to be successful or not successful in what they were hoping. Either way, it contributes to the broader academic body of knowledge so that other scientists can actually reference it to base some of their research off of. Let's say, hypothetically, that they come out with a product or a cream for hair loss. I'm going to cite HairDAO here because they just did this. You get a shampoo which promotes hair growth and prevents hair loss. You can then that is intellectual property, which can then be patented and turned into an actual product, but the IP can be tokenized and put back into the treasury of whatever DAO funded that research. So right now, HairDAO has a shampoo line which is there to prevent hair loss, and the IP has been tokenized and put back into that DAO, which can then be controlled by the people with the governance token, right? Molecule allows for you to fractionalize that NFT. The IP NFT, intellectual property NFT, can be fractionalized and traded just like any other coin that you want to do. VitaDAO has this as well, but again, I've got multiple videos on all of this. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully, this was worth investing into. Josh, you have anything exciting to say?
Buy Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin. You heard it here first. I'll see you guys in the next video.